So I was thinking about the story of Joseph. So Joseph's story begins in Genesis chapter 37. So before I begin though, I wanted to share two things. So firstly, the Bible is prophecy. As we start reading the Bible, we begin to experience the Bible. We begin to experience the stories in the Bible. And then the second thing is this, that I work in healthcare for 20 years. And so what I learned is that I can learn from anyone. That means that the people that have 30 years experience, they have wisdom to share. But guess what? The person that has 1 year experience, they have wisdom to share too, because their information is cutting edge. They receive the most current information, but not only that, they're not part of tradition. And so they have a piece to share as well. We see that Joseph is favored by his dad. In a system that favors the eldest son, we see that the youngest son is actually the one that's favored. The second part that we see about Joseph is that Joseph has a vision that is for all of God's people. So now let's talk about Joseph's brothers. So before I start, the Bible gives us a lot of background in human behavior because we can notice the behavior and we can make a different choice. So Joseph's brothers really represent when I am in my insecurity and fear, I have a need to want to kill the things that trigger me. So who are Joseph's brothers? Joseph's brothers are anyone that signed on to try to harm Joseph. So Joseph's brothers, I would argue, are the people that are really resistant of going to Egypt. But we know that it's God's sovereignty at play here, and that is that God uses their harm to develop Joseph, but God also uses their harm to create famine in their life. Joseph's brothers have to make amends with Joseph, and they have to go to Egypt because that's the only way they escape the famine. So really what we learn from that story is new and non-traditional really do create fear and insecurity in people, but we can notice that and take away from that. But the other part here is we can trust in it and we can take the information back to God on our own, because even though Joseph is new, Joseph really is hearing from heaven. And what Joseph is sharing is for all of God's people.